Coming on in for some nifty tools. That's right, we're here for the nifty tools. Hey, what's happening, guys? Thanks for stopping back into the channel. Right here with the Rust Belt Mechanic. That's right, we're back showing you guys some nifty tools of the week. And today we've got three really nice newer tools to the market that you guys are going to love to see. Come check these out. So kicking off our nifty tools of the week, tonight we're going to go with our Matco pick of the litter. We've got our PRTW160K Lug Nut Torque Wrench. Now, yeah, torque wrenches are torque wrenches. Everybody needs one, and it's all about finding the right fit for the right job. Yeah, we've got torque wrenches that are digital. We've got ones that are, click style, and this is going to be pretty much the best one of the click style that I've had and felt in a long time. Now this one's going to be for the guys who are doing these tire and lube places and doing lots and lots of tires all day long. Matco's newest torque wrench has 5 different settings to it, so it's going to be super easy to get to all of those different settings that you need. One of the downfalls of the click style torque wrench is when you go to put it away at the end of the day, you really need to unscrew it and take away all the tension to it because it just takes away from the accuracy later on down the road. The spring gets, kind of worn out, so you constantly have to be adjusting it down and back up, and it just takes forever, just twist and twist and twist. Well, Matco still has their manual style torque wrench with this one, but they took all the effort of the 15 different turns out of the mix. Yes, this one is still going to have 5 different settings from 80 foot-pounds all the way up to 160 foot-pounds, but they are all achievable within 360 degrees or less of motion to be able to get to each one of those levels. All you got to do is unlock the little cap end on the end of the torque wrench. At that point, you can go ahead and twist to whichever level you want. You're sitting at 80, 100, 120, 140, and 160 foot-pounds. All 5 of those different settings. Once you put it on the setting that you really want, lock the end back into place and you're ready to go. The click style torque wrench that they have is accurate to plus or minus 4%, so pretty good amount. That's pretty standard, middle of the road for any kind of torque wrench. Now the other thing that's really cool, built-in 90-degree angle, so pretty much everybody who knows that they need these torque wrenches is they have to have some kind of a little spacer at least to be able to get into the dish of the wheels. This one already has it built into it, so you don't have to have any kind of spacers or any kind of lug nut adapters for it. Half-inch drive on here with that 90-degree angle is able to pretty much get into any wheel that I had using this one over the last week or so. Now what's really cool about this one, like I said, with all of the different settings and everything, it comes in at a really good price point too. You guys can pick this one up even at MSRP price, 131 bones. Now if you're talking about just a regular turning click style torque wrench from SnapOn, you're well up over 200 and some dollars. So for 131 bucks for a specific tire torque wrench that is a click beam style, this is a pretty badass one to pick up. I definitely recommend it. Next on the list, we've got our brand new meter from SnapOn. This is their EEDM504F. Now, as you guys can notice, the casing looks pretty familiar. I did a review before on the new EEDM596. That big chassis is pretty awesome. I really love that meter. The color screen, Bluetooth function, it's just every bell and whistle that SnapOn had. Well, a lot of technicians put into SnapOn and said that they really like that case, but they may not have really liked to pay the $500–600 that they really want for that meter. They want a meter that just does their meter functions, but comes in the newer, better case that they really enjoy. So that's where they came in with this one, and they added a couple of features just to make sure they answered what the technicians wanted and needed. First off, what really sets this one apart is going to be the lit display. Now, it's going to be a standard LCD display. The darkened numbers that you see here are going to be extremely easy to see in any kind of daylight function. On top of that, you have a backlight that makes it extremely easy to see in any really dark area. So any wide range of areas that you might be in, either outside working under the sun or underneath one of these cars, you're going to be able to see the display on this one extremely easy. So a meter that's in the more affordable range and has a screen that you can see, a couple of big thumbs up for what technicians were wanting. Now, function-wise, let's jump into that. First off, this is going to be a true RMS meter. Extremely accurate is what I'm going to have to say that it is. And it has all these certain functions that pretty much any other meter is going to have. Has your 10 amp amperage with the fuse that is built into the rear. All you have to do is take out a couple of Phillips screws into the back of this. That's how you're going to access your fuse. The cord can wrap around into the actual unit right here, and you've got your four different ports here onto the top. 10 amp max on the amperage. What I really would have wished they would have had is the 15 amp. I know some of the newer meters are going to 15 and or 20 amp on the amperage side of things, so wish we would have seen a larger amperage, but you know, 10 amp is pretty normal, and for a meter that is in the affordable price range, that's what we're used to seeing. Any kind of ranges that we're seeing jump around, you can push the hold button and it's going to stop, give the freeze frame right there what you exactly wanted to see. Now, the only gripe that a lot of technicians may have about this one is that it does not read dead zero when it's put onto DC volts. And that is because this thing is tuned for the actual leads to be inside the meter. So we're going to hook up our leads to this one. And then when the leads get touched to a circuit, that's when we can see this thing drop to perfect zero. There you can see the meter is tuned exactly to how these leads work, and that's where it's at. So like I said, with the leads unhooked, some of the technicians may be complaining that you might see a couple of millivolts. You can see the MV here. We're up into the 5, 6, 7 range there on the meter, and we can put it back to zero when touching the leads. So just one of the little things you might look out for on this one. Does AC and DC readings, Cat 2 certified, all the way up to 1000 volts DC. So pretty much able to read anything voltage wise that we're going to be reading here in the shop. Able to record any kind of the readings, and you're able to set the range in auto or manually set it yourself. As you can see, the little dot moving across the screen. Hold the button and it goes back into the auto function. I like that it's super easy to read even without the backlight on here inside the shop. Super easy to read all of these numbers. All in all, I can't really complain about this meter. Like I said, technicians told SnapOn that they wanted the newest case of meter and put it into a more affordable package, and they did just that. You can pick up this meter even at full price. Is going to run 295 bones on the SnapOn truck or online. I'm sure you guys can find a couple of deals with your SnapOn rep, but you know, that's up to you guys to find. Now, my only complaints about this one is that I'm not really a fan of the SnapOn actual leads. I'm just not a fan of them. Some guys are just used to it. Some guys really like them. I am personally not a fan. I think the pin ends are too fat to reach into a lot of places, and the fact that you have to unscrew them doesn't have a nice little bit for banana jack leads, which is what a lot of diagnostic which is what a lot of diagnostic guys really want to see, because they've got a lot of adapters like what I've got in this case right here.
What took you so long?
Now, this kit was from a previous Nifty Tools episode. It featured the N2 Neuron, which is its own meter, a Bluetooth one that Bluetooths to your phone. Awesome, really great meter. I actually will put the link to this one in the description as well. I really love that one, but this is their professional kit. It's a lot like the AES Wave kit that comes with all of the different pin ends from the 0.6 all the way up to like 4.0 round. All the different different connectors, and all of the different ends that go into their banana jack style leads. These are the leads I like to see a lot more, especially this style that has the little sleeve that goes over the banana jack that is spring loaded. I really like those. I wish SnapOn would go over to those. Those are absolutely my favorite. And for a nifty tool within a nifty tool here on the series, we've got this from Jarhead Diagnostics. This is your pretty much load testing. Any kind of circuits, you're going to want to test it with an actual bulb, not with ohms resistance testing like a lot of dumb technicians will try. I've put one of these dual filament bulbs in here, 3157 I believe is what that one takes, or a 3057. And then I've kind of marked it on the two ends what the two filaments are ohms wise, 2.2 and a half. So really cool nifty little tool right there. I'll put the link into that one for Jarhead Diagnostics. He also has his own YouTube channel, so make sure you check him out as well. Big thumbs up for it. And big thumbs up for the SnapOn meter. I really do like it for the price point that it's at. Now, last but certainly not least on this week's nifty tool is going to be the battery charger maintainer, the Tornado 4000 from Topdon. Now, I know I've been reviewing quite a few products from Topdon, and they've sent me a lot of them to test, and I'm only going to be showing the ones that I really like, and this is one of the ones I really like. That is because this little battery charger maintainer is pretty much going to be one of the highest technology, highest end little battery maintainers that I've reviewed in quite a while and actually used, that keeps it under the $50 price range, which is really awesome in our books, saving some money. So in the kit, it comes with a couple of different leads. It's got one end lead that kind of hooks to your battery with a couple of eyelets, has a built-in fuse already in it, and we'll see, it does come with a 10 amp fuse already on it. So that's really cool. And each one of these little lead ends comes with its own little connector to it as well. So you can swap these out between that one and the heavy duty alligator clips. The alligator clips on these ones are some of the best ones that I've seen for any kind of these battery maintainers. They actually open up large enough to get onto some of the big terminals. You know, a lot of these battery maintainers, they make them just big enough for you to get onto the terminals of a battery that doesn't have the cable on it. These will actually go around the actual cable end of the battery. So I really like those. The Tornado 4000 has we'll just say a crap load of different options to it. And it pretty much will cover the encompassing nature of any kind of battery charging. From your standard nickel cadmium all the way up to your AGMs, your lithium batteries, and everything in between. Also has a bunch of little functions in there as well. It has a desulfate, which is going to work for pretty much any one of these, and it has a little repair function here as well. That's going to actually bring a battery back from the dead, which I actually did this last week over on the Duramax, which that's going to come in another video because I've been cooking some batteries in that, and we'll just say the cooking is not very good. But anyways, this was able to save one of those batteries, so big thumbs up for that one. Has a nice little percentage thing here on the top to be able to tell you where it is at in the charging. I'm going to have to say that this is not the fastest battery charger on the market, especially for a trickle charger, but it does what it does, and it does it really well. When I put it onto one of the large batteries on the diesel, yes, it did bring it back using the 12-volt repair function, but it did take almost 48 hours to do so. Now, 48 hours to bring back a battery from the dead and me not have to go buy a new battery, big thumbs up in my book that this was able to complete that test, but like I said, it did take quite a while. Only other complaint that I have about this one is the leads are fantastic, but the actual cables are kind of small from what I thought that this should be able to do. Yeah, we're not talking any kind of really high amperage that this thing's carrying. You know, we're maybe seeing 5 amps, 6 amps at most. Of course, you know, these things have a 10 amp little fuse built in, so it can't go over that. But for a battery maintainer, I guess it works. I just wish we could have seen a little bit heavier duty cables for this one. I feel like if I nick this one across something on the engine bay, it's probably going to nick one of the rubber ends open. But again, in the price range that this thing sits for like $45.99, it's a pretty awesome buy. Now, one other cool thing that Topdon happened to do is give me a coupon code for my subscribers. So for any of you guys who are looking to pick up a really cool battery charger maintainer desulfate tool, you guys can pick this one up over on Amazon, and I will leave the link down below as well as the coupon code to get you guys a nice little discount as well. Now, before we hit the end of this video, I wanted to give a big shout out to Treblab. Treblab is a awesome company that happened to sponsor this video, and they gave us some really awesome speakers to be able to show the users here on the Rust Belt Mechanic channel. This is a pair of their brand new Treblab Bluetooth audio speakers. On top of that, they're able to pair Bluetooth wise to a pair of speakers, so you've got them jamming away inside the shop in surround sound. On top of that, you guys can take these with you anywhere you want to go. They have a 7,000 milliamp hour battery internal built into them, and they have a nice little secure way to be able to access both the charging port and the USB input output. We have a couple of different indicators here on the end that shows you where the charge level is, and we can light it up to see where we're at. Nice little sealed in unit, IP65 rated. And these things are just killer. I love to have them here in the home shop. So big shout out to Treblab for helping and sponsoring this content. Go check those out. The link is down below in the description. Well, boys and girls, that's about all we've got for this week's Nifty Tools of the Week. We've got a lot more content rolling down the pipeline for you. We've got the Duramax that's going to have a lot of issues with the battery and electrical system, so we're kind of waiting on a couple of parts and things for that one. And I do apologize for the lack of video uploads and how fast I'm doing that. One, I'm doing a lot of work here on the property, still playing catch up, lots of stuff breaking, and you know how that goes with 10.5 acres of property. It's going to take a lot of time to handle. So I apologize for that one. And we also got some really great videos coming up in the way of shop basics and some for the technician reviews of some brand new vehicles. So make sure you stay tuned to the channel. About lost that one there. Make sure you stay tuned to the channel. Ring that bell notification so you get notified when I come out with cool, awesome content just like this one here today. Thanks, and as always, you guys stay awesome. Bam. Make sure you film the next Nifty Tools of the Week episode in Captain Ron's fishing cabin, because he leaves the air conditioning on and it feels amazing in here compared to that freaking shop. God, it's so freaking hot outside. We need us some nifty tools for the fishing cabin. Just sit out, do some fishing, have a good old time, right? That's right.